Okay. 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 Interesting. Oh, I think he was talking to me. No, he wasn't. Ooh. Okay. Oh God. Move. Okay, that's BS. That's gotta be BS. Oh no. Oh no. Say it's more emptier than I thought. I think the game is dead.
I greet you in wisdom and mutual respect, fellow scholar.
Okay. Now I can't remember what I was doing. How do I run it? There we go. Take a shot. Oh, I got so far to go. Alright. Boop. Okay. Thank you. I just need one more. come on with this nonsense. This is nonsense. Little nonsense. And, oh my god. I'm down here for a second. What this? Oh, wait. Okay, good. Can leave me alone for a second. Okay. Okay. Okay, keep eating meat that I don't need to. What? All right. That.
I greet you in wisdom and mutual respect, fellow scholar.
Okay.
Welcome to the everlasting torch. We are always burning for you.
Okay.
Check in.
Well, I've been hearing good things about you and your new friends. I think you chose well in your allegiance.
Okay. Okay. This way?
You've hitched your wagon to a faction, have you? Fair enough. All right, then. We dig a trench around the settlement and fill it with gunpowder. Corrupt it come, boom! Your part's just procuring the
Okay. I didn't need to fall like that. Over here. Hey! Your poor knees. Thank you. How you doing, Adam? General Adam. Oh my god. Okay. Hold on. I'm good, man. Oh, actually, I think you actually hit me up on Discord, right? Did you? Hold on. What am I missing? I was gonna say, then sometimes this screen. General Adam, huh? I mean, listen, we're going with the meme we have. I am a leader of my own military. Yes, you are. Oh, okay. So now I know what you're doing on Discord. Okay, 4 of these then. What was I gonna say? I was checking out your Discord. Oh, I still have that itch. Okay. No, I don't really need that. Want someone to chat to? I don't mind. Especially because this part has a lot of walking. I my bloody hell. And plus I'm waiting for a friend to come by the house. Oh, you could just come directly to my Discord. Pretty sure you're still part of my server.
I probably am. Yep, I am.
Ugh, my fucking bloody hell. This fucking sucks.
I'm different, man. What
I'm
do you want
different.
to say?
Oh, you're different? You are different. Yeah. This game is different. You're different. We're all different.
That is right. Speaking of different, so that thing which I said that I was working on, which I haven't gotten around to. Well, you know that I had everything listed in that work as, you know, the invading creatures were classifying themselves as demons.
See.
Well, I got to a point where I was thinking to myself, do I actually add more to it, in a sense? Because I felt like, you know, it was kind of awkward having it as demons and demon king. I mean, it made sense, but I was pretty much just going with the basis because, you know, anime and manga. It seems that's the type of work that it is. But then I was speaking with my friend today.
Okay.
We was both talking about the blurb. And you know what blurb is, right?
I've heard of it.
The blurb is what describes the work on the back of the book
Yes.
to get people interested in purchasing it. Well, so I wrote the blurb, and I was like, something doesn't feel right. And she was like, do you want to change like demons and demon king, because it just seems a bit bland? I was like, well, that's the thing, I want to do that, but I don't know what to do. That's the thing. It's a difficult thing to really think of.
Well, let's run it backwards. Oh, okay. Keep going.
I've already done that all of
Okay.
that. Like,
What'd you do?
literally within an hour, my demons are now called the Castus, and the Demon King is now known as the Castus Tsar.
Okay.
Which is basically Emperor, like Caesar.
Now, are these real words, or these are just words you made?
The original Tsar was actually, it came from the original word, Roman word Caesar. But Tsar was actually used more commonly with the Russian Emperor.
Oh, I need to listen better.
It's alright, man. I mean, you're playing an MMO, I understand how it gets.
No, I don't mind me. Some of the specs of this MMO, I'm putting with quotation marks, are just like, interesting choices they made here.
So, this was quite literally what the thought process was. So, she says demons and demon king sound a bit bland. I was like, I thought about it, but I didn't know what. Since demons originally gave themselves that name, since it's what they considered themselves closest to from history. And then I thought about it. Castus. Their race can be named Castus, pronounced Castis. But racist human bags of shit can call them demons because of their looks. Because one of the situations that actually happens in the book is humans are very racist towards demons because obviously, you know, giant war going on, shit tons of humans have died. But the thing is that they're most afraid of the magic that they have, and the fact that they can just snap and turn it on someone. And that's so humans constantly live in fear of them, and that's what causes them to make them outcasts and be racist, not give them jobs, and allow
humans
them to
can't use magic.
No, they can only use it with the science created by demons, and only the military can use it because of the damage that it can cause.
Okay.
So, but yeah, basically, they found a way to, in a way, farm magic. Then they let it fester, I guess would be the best way to say, inside of a canister. Eventually, that power will expand, and that can then be used in swords with humans. So, for example, if they have a sword, they can fill the hilt, the handle, with one of the canisters, and they'll pull the trigger on the sword, which will then activate the ability in the demon steel blade, which is basically just ignites it with the magic, and whatever specific magic's in it, that's what will happen. So, for example, Itsumi and Daishi, their favorite ones to use is fire, because they are assassins.
Would they use fire though? Are they trying to burn down a location?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes. Basically,
I would have thought
when
maybe
I say
more like
assassins-
poison.
See, that's the thing. There is actually no poison magic. There's only one type of poison magic, and it only belongs to one of the SARS lieutenants.
What about shadow then? Like stealth?
That actually exists as a clan-specific ability. Only people that were born of that clan's lineage have that ability. So it's actually a half rare, half not type of ability. Like, people can still be born into that clan and not gain the ability because of, you know, crossbreeding between different types of casters, sorry. So it's very strange in a sense. So, for example, Shiro, he's from that clan, and people that usually do have that ability from that clan will go into things like recon because of the stealth ability. It helps them to gather intel and so on and so forth. In fact, a lot of the intel that Ko's team gets is from Shiro. It's on like start of the book sort of thing, so it's not a massive spoiler. You'll learn about it very early on.
Spoiler.
It's not. It's far from a spoiler.
Can't believe that the author is spoiling me stuff.
I'm not mentioning anything from like beyond the first chapter.
But my question is, when does Naruto show up?
Oh, that's in the second book.
Oh.
But no, in fact, I actually. How do I say this? So I have a book 2 and 3 already planned out, and there is a massive reveal in book 2, which is the only ability to exist in the entirety of Castus history.
Only
Which
one?
is, yeah, it's literally the only demon, well, Castus, to actually have that ability. Because the thing is that I can't say anything.
Say it.
It's like I'm trying to think of a way to explain it to you without dropping any major information in it. Oh, fuck, and it's
What's
so
up?
hard.
Somebody dropped some money. Money on the floor.
That wasn't money, that was a spoon in a bowl. I had sweet and sour chicken before I joined.
An Englishman eating Chinese food.
I mean, we were conquerors once.
I don't think you guys conquered China.
No, but we did trade with them and steal their tea.
You guys also had Hong Kong for a long time, and then you let that just slip through your fingers.
Honestly, I fucking hate that that happened.
I know. So does Hong Kong. Pretty
I
sure
just
Hong.
feel so bad for him.
I mean, the anarchist in me sees it as a lot of chaos, and of course, it's unfortunate, but it's like it is also the way of the world when you work with a capitalist mindset too.
It's honestly, that wasn't even a capitalist mindset. There was an agreement which was kept, and you know, the UK did hand Hong Kong back over to them. They could have bargained for more.
Correct, but they didn't see
time.
any. But they didn't see any value in doing that. That's why I said capitalist mindset.
No, it's not that they didn't see value. It's that they didn't want to instigate another possible war.
Oh, it's all right. What would China do? Not give you any food?
The thing is that
China #1.
the United Kingdom understands the state of China and its policing, its very communist behavior.
First off, China. China. Let's talk about China. Alright? They're good people. Okay, they're very good people. Alright? If I was president, China would be our friendliest friends. That bat, we would bid the bat.
Are you running for president there, Jay?
I'm still the president. I never lost. I
my
won
God,
by
do
a
you know what
lot.
Do you know what you could be? You could be the best president by lying.
I mean, wasn't that Trump?
China, Russia are our best comrades.
Mm-hmm.
We will go far together as a people.
They,
The rest of the world.
they investigated me, and there was no Russian collusion. That was a
You
lie.
need to have tiny hands.
I love America. America, so great. America, oh my God.
I've got a gun. I have a permit in the state of New York.
Well, welcome to America, where people are.
Gunslinger, pew pew.
Oh my God.
He actually did that at one of his rallies.
Oh, I know.
Yeah, it's fucking. I think it's great. Like, it just goes to show that someone's popularity because of the fact they were a reality TV show host.
Mm-hmm.
Will gain presidency. Presidency, it's done. It's actually ridiculous.
Well, unfortunately, it's more so like the divide in America, very great, and then you have such a huge rise in politicians, of political aspects of how people believe the country is run. Like, for example, Democrats, like, unfortunately here in the United States, the normal Democrat does not know economics. The Republican believe traditionalism, but then at the same time, they don't want you mentioning certain traditional umbrage that they could be tied to. That makes them look bad. So it's
Okay, so I get what you're saying about your politics, but this is from our Prime Minister. He is a highly regarded politician. He used to be a tennis player. Everybody that is basically Tory party, which is what they are, love him. So these are just a few things that he said about LGBT plus people.
Oh, I'm fully aware of that because of my friend. Like, I know a lot of your political policies more than I should know. It's not a great place. A lot of people believe that England's trying to get rid of the LGBTQ because of your prime minister. Where's that? There's an island. What's that island called? It's a
Oh my
negative
God.
term. What, you know what I'm talking about?
No, I just read something that I didn't know he said, but go on.
There's a particular. You go first, and then maybe blah blah blah. Maybe
Think
the.
of the-
Mm-hmm.
So, in a column titled "Am I Guilty of Racial Prejudice? We All Are," Johnson admitted that a bunch of black kids caused him to turn a hair. To give you an open goal to punt your judgment into, he added, "If that
Why
is
it
racial
that in times of
prejudice, then
trouble,
I am
people are
guilty."
so quick
Mhm.
to doubt their leaders. I suppose I
God.
will never understand.
Welcome to politicians.
Oh my
in
God! After
2022.
Barack Obama took a bust of Johnson's idol, Winston Churchill, out of the Oval Office, Johnson suggested Obama had an ancestral dislike of the British Empire. What the fuck? What the fuck?
What, you didn't know?
Oh, that was something else he fucking said. Oh, okay, so essentially what he said was it wasn't a fact that we once ruled Africa,
Mm-hmm.
but it is a matter of why we don't still rule Africa.
Yep. I'm familiar with that quote.
Yeah, it was something along those lines. Like, holy crap.
Yeah, I wonder why. Oh my god.
Definitely co-conspirator.
What people say out loud.
Do the trick just fine.
What makes you wonder what they say in the quiet?
I mean, he wanted to absolutely decimate the Scottish. Like, he wanted to, like, go on a full Nazi wipeout of all the Scottish people.
Where's the spirit stone?
Boris Johnson was secretly recorded in 1990 in a phone call with former Darius Guppy, who was jailed for 5 years in 1993 for his part in insurance fraud. There is nothing which I won't do to get my revenge, he said. Asked by Mr. Johnson, how badly are you going to hurt this guy? He replied, the journalist will not be seriously hurt, but will probably get a couple of black eyes and a cracked rib. Mr. Johnson could be heard seeking assurances he would not get in trouble before saying, okay, Dari, I said I'll do it.
Yep, I see nothing wrong with that statement.
He
Nothing
literally
wrong.
just planned to get a journalist jumped.
Mm-hmm. Ours just makes fun of a disabled passenger. A disabled
Wait, what?
reporter. There was a reporter, he had like his arm, I think he had Parkinson. And so Donald Trump was making fun of him.
Yeah, I remember that. So yeah, I think those two are two peas in a very confused pod.
And yet, people still chose them. Think about that.
Well, actually, no, Boris Johnson wasn't chosen originally.
He was chosen by God.
I'm glad that I don't believe in him.
God?
Yeah. Here's the thing, like,
Mm-hmm.
someone actually came to me one time and they were spouting a bunch of religious crap, and I said that I don't believe in God. And so they said that I would burn for eternity in a fiery pit of hell.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, do you know what God's biggest weakness is? And obviously they were like, I don't care, I don't think you are blah 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 and all this and that. I says, if you don't believe in him, his biggest weakness is literally that. Because every god needs someone to believe in him in order for him to exist. Otherwise,
Right.
where would he be?
New Jersey.
New fucking Jersey.
Trust me. My God is a good God.
Wait, New Jersey, as in the orange people state with blonde hair?
No, that's California.
No, I think California has them. Then again, people are idiots.
Trust me, I once lived in New Jersey.
I was literally about to say, California gets enough sun, but then I was like, oh yeah, it's America.
I mean, oh my God, what is that? A bison? White bison. Okay.
Kill a bison?
Hmm?
Did you just kill a bison?
I wish I couldn't. That thing's 4 levels higher than me.
Wait, why are you in a higher level area?
Because the game so basically it gave you an option. So there's no mounts in this game.
I know. Like, I think that's a giant fucking mistake.
And teleportation costs like another currency. So it was like, hey, here's an option. You could teleport. And I thought it would be free.
Currency? Another currency? What do you mean by that?
So like a different resource type. It's not gold.
Oh. What, is it nickel?
No, it's a blue powder. I don't know what's it called. I'm not too into this game.
So it's an actual resource. Okay.
Yes.
My buddy plays it. The thing is, I will not play this game because it's far too graphical. The development team will get fucking absolutely ripped a new one because they're not bringing out enough content. I mean, literally, when they released the game, the developers turned around and said, "Do not complete this within 2 weeks. Take your time." And then people completed it within 2 weeks, and then complained that there wasn't enough content.
I mean, so I'll probably just put this up on YouTube and call it the misadventures of Jang playing New World featuring Adam. But the point of this is just like, I'm just curious because I've seen some people have it. Maybe I'll just wait until they add more content to it. But like, there's like nobody in my area for a low level area. So I don't know if they added servers and my server is no longer a thing.
I think it might be that everybody just absolutely powerhouse the game at the start, and everybody realized that there's no real end game content per se. So they've all just sort of chilled out, started doing the war stuff, which my buddy talks about constantly.
Cause I think at one point I remember hearing the war stuff was not great because it was like every hour you had to defend.
I can't remember. I wasn't really paying attention, and from what my buddy was telling me, he was actually on the team. They were literally dominating the war every single time.
Oh my god!
So I'm just sort of sat here like I don't care for games like that. If it's so easy for one side to just completely take over, then it's not a balanced game. Like, for example, was it Arcade that made you balance out? Like when there was too many people in Harania, it forced you to go into New Year? I can't remember.
Oh, Guild War, the first one.
Oh, was it Guild Wars?
The very first one. They.
Like, I've seen that in a few games.
Yeah, if you were too many people were on one clan, they'll just cut it off and just make you join the other side. Because the whole point. It was it was supposed to be a triangle warfare.
Yeah. It was the same with the Arcade. They actually had the Nuians, the Franians, and then the Pirates. But again, like, everybody wanted to be a pirate. There wasn't a restriction on it.
Yo ho, a pirate's life for me.
Oh, I swear to God, the Straw Hats were the worst.
They're the best.
No, they had hackers.
They had they just reached their 1,000 episode.
Oh, fucking don't you dare! Don't you dare, Jack.
What's up? When we were watching it?
Never. I've already wasted 175 episodes of my life on that crap.
Oh, you never made it to Robin then.
I don't care. I've already seen Robin and I still don't care.
Damn.
Like, this is the thing. One Piece is quite literally the definition of a creator that's refusing to release their work. They don't want it to end because they have it in their mind that they are actually continuing an amazing story, but already each one of their stories has happened 3 times over. And that's the one thing that I'm not a fan of. And I've actually had One Piece fans say that exact thing, that they just keep repeating themselves.
And yet they're still selling it up.
Well, yeah, it's pretty much because of the fact it is shonen.
Or Dragon Ball Z. That's the same story that has not
Oh, I
stopped.
know.
repeating.
I don't like Dragon Ball Z either.
What? That's why you're not Ultra Instinct.
See, this is why I liked Bleach, because Bleach's stories were technically unique in the sense of story. Some of the fights were repetitive because, you know.
What story? Because one of the arcs repeated itself. So the Soul Society arc and the Espada arc are repeats.
Wake Mundo.
Yes.
No,
Yes.
not entirely. I mean, the
Yeah.
only reason why it seems like a repeat is because you need to read the manga beyond that.
No. I can actually show you a video they did a 1-to-1, and I even thought of it at the time too, where this is where our friendship breaks apart. Where
Oh no, like Bleach isn't my most favorite anime of all time, but I'm intrigued.
you could replace Orihime with help me out here. I used to like her. Rukia. Both of them get kidnapped. Chad has the exact same fight. Same power.
Rukia doesn't get kidnapped. Rukia goes back of her own free will.
True, but
Byakuya.
but we could say kidnapped
And
in
then
the
she
same.
accepts that she actually broke the laws in the Soul Society, so she accepts her execution.
Yeah, to
So
protect
that's a different
Ichigo.
situation.
But it's still the exact same reason. To protect Ichigo.
No,
Yeah.
it wasn't to protect Ichigo, because
He got his
Ichigo
ass
was going
kicked.
to get fucked Oh yeah, but he was still going to suffer regardless, because the Soul Society would have gone after him regardless.
She
But-
thought if she went, it wouldn't be a punishment.
Huh?
If she went, he wouldn't be
What do
as
you
punished. Like, he wouldn't die.
What do you mean?
Well,
I'm
Bria?
confused by what you mean he doesn't die. He didn't die in the Rukia arc.
Right, but that's because she left. Her brother would have killed her.
Oh. Yeah, so she left of her own free will because she understood that the fact that Ichigo would have died in that situation. However, the thing is that if Ichigo did continue to fight, the chances are his hollow form would have fucking come out, and that just would have triggered an entire different story too early. But overall, the story was that Rukia was only being punished because she gave her power to a human, which she was not allowed to do. And obviously the human part was kind of halfway. Have you read the manga?
I read the whole thing. He's not even human.
Okay.
Spoiler.
Yeah, he's not human. Yeah.
He's
So that
a Quincy
half-
and Shinigami.
yeah, he's half Quincy, half Shinigami. Yeah.
Dumbest twist
So-
ever.
So essentially, that's the reason why he was able to see everything that was going on. But anyway, again, like if that situation plays out, the only reason why Rukia was getting in trouble in the first place was because she gave her power to Ichigo. Had nothing to do with him in any way or form. She literally could have gone back and said everything that she wanted to, and because of certain events that transpired, she got into trouble. She said that I won't give you Ichigo, and then that's when everything came to Byakuya saying, right, I'll fuck you with them.
Still,
So,
same thing
again,
happened, so.
It's not really his fault. Orihime was literally taken against her will.
But again, to save Ichigo.
No, that wasn't actually to save Ichigo.
Ichigo watched her get kidnapped. He couldn't match it. What's his face?
But that's the thing. That's because Ichigo was too weak at the time because he was facing off against the Arancars, which the Arancars were way too powerful for him at that point. They actually only took Orihime because they wanted to get to Ichigo in the first place.
Which is kind of dumb when you really think about that. Like, anyway, but still, same there.
It's very much the you're gonna steal my best friend. I'm going to come after you. That's what they expected, and that's definitely what happened.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like that. Like that which leads me into my flaw with Aizen is that Aizen is too smart of a villain.
If he was too smart of a villain, he wouldn't have been captured.
Yeah, but even then he had a plan. Even then he had a plan for that plan.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But I think the genius part in that was Aizen's biggest flaw was his own pride in what he'd become.
Which is why
he expected to become so powerful that nobody could stop him, but he was actually stopped.
Which is why the fight between Ichigo and Aizen was there were some cool aspects.
But there's one thing I want to say.
Doesn't
about
live up to the hype.
That fight was not Ichigo. That was his power. What do you call it? What's his fucking thing called?
Bankai?
No, well, yeah, it's technically his Bankai, but it's not really his Bankai, is it? It's what was it called?
I know what you're referring to because it was like his final Bankai evolution mastery. Whatever.
Yeah, I can't remember what it is. No, because it was also part of his Quincy part, remember?
No, because the whole point of it was that he could only do that one time. That was it. And if he used it, he couldn't use his powers ever again.
You do remember the whole part with I don't know how you put it. Vak? I don't know how you pronounce his name.
Are you talking about the arc after
Recommender, yeah. This is the manga.
Right, I know what you're talking about. That was a bad arc anyway.
Oh yeah, it was definitely a bad arc. Wait, no, I'm not talking about the Zanpakuto arc. Wait, no, because that came before. Did that come before?
Yeah.
Yeah, it did came before Recommender.
The only two
of the same arc?
Yes. Because the whole point of when Aizen fought Ichigo on his super form.
No, I'm not talking about that arc. It basically the power that was inside of him had something to do with Iwak or Ivak or whatever his fucking name
Right.
is
You're talking about the
manga.
arc. This is way later. I'm talking about.
Oh yeah, I know.
I'm talking about.
That power is a part of Ivak's issue thing, so it's technically part Bankai, part whatever that was. And
Yeah,
I
except
think if I remember,
here.
that's what kept him alive.
No, he was gonna be fine without it. He was alive even before that. The whole are you referring to when Ichigo used that final form against Aizen? Stick with me.
Yes.
Alright, that he would have been fine. The only flaw, and they pointed this out, and this is why it becomes dumb later on, is that if he used that final form, even though it looks
erase his power.
Correct.
Yeah, I remember that, and I said that it also had possibility of killing him as well because he wasn't a fully fledged Shinigami.
No, there was no death involved.
Oh, I swear there was something about death.
No death. You're thinking of now. This ties into him getting the second blade and getting his full quote unquote Shinigami powers. This is when he realizes that the Shinigami, the guy with the glasses, who he thought was his Bankai or Zanpakuto, was not his. Yeah, that was not his Zanpakuto.
Oh, yeah.
That was his Quincy powers.
Yeah, that was the Ivak side of what was going on. Yeah, that's what I was talking about. Like,
right. That arc.
One thing that was. Yeah.
That's the arc where he said, all right, if you abandon me and you go for your full Shinigami powers, you can die.
Yeah.
That's where he gets the two blades from.
Okay. Because if I remember rightly, his Bankai did break, and that's how he ends up getting the 2 swords in the first place.
Yes, because this is you're thinking after the Aizen fight.
Yeah.
Because he tried to go against him, and the first thing he noticed, like, you look like my Zanpakuto. And he was like, I'm actually your granddad, or something stupid. I can't remember.
I'm your granddaddy.
I just.
Now give me your power, grandson.
I just feel like the author went, oh shit, not everybody has shown off their Bankai.
The thing is, okay, Kenpachi Zaraki had the perfect story.
How
And
so?
it breaks my heart. Did you remember his Bankai and everything, right?
Which one is that? Which captain is that one?
Kenpachi Zaraki is the one that constantly always tries to fight Ichigo because he fucked him up in the Serite when fighting against him and shit, what's the fucking name? The pink-haired little girl.
Okay, yes, I remember him.
Yeah, he gets his Bankai in the manga.
Yes, he does.
Yeah, that story, that little thing for him was fucking brilliant. I loved it. I hated it, but I loved it. Because it brought pain.
What's her... Alright, there's some good twists, but some twists I just, like, feels like left field and doesn't feel like the characters. Okay, like the healer. Remember her?
God. Yeah.
And that...
Wait, are you talking about the Captain Healer?
Yes.
Or the... Oh, yeah, I know what you're talking about.
And that Kapachi is a title.
Kenpachi, yeah.
Yeah, and then, like, you remember her Bankai?
It was the giant mantis thing, right?
Correct.
Yes.
It's stuff like that that makes me feel like the evolution doesn't match the character.
Well, that's the thing. The Zanpakuto is to resemble the character's personality, and because her personality was to be a caring person, her Bankai ended up becoming a healer's weapon.
No, because then when she actually used the real version, because that was the whole point in the manga, they was like, that's not my...
version?
Yeah, that's not her real version. She has
Oh,
two.
so that's not even a... Wait, she has 2 Bankai?
Yes. She doesn't use...
Personality.
Yeah, that was the whole point. That was like the twist.
Oh my god, that's actually fucking genius. I like that.
I did it because it's like, it just feels like, because it's rush. Because you don't see it fully formed. She usually uses it against Kapachi.
Bear in mind though, bear in mind that during the manga it was a rush job because they were running out of time on the contract.
But at the same time, I feel like he should have ended it a while ago. That's why
I know, but the thing is that he might have had the perfect plot to go along with, but he had to sort of fit everything in this small space because that's what the publisher wants.
Because the whole point of it...
That's the unfortunate side to, you know, being a part of a large fucking company like Shonen Jump. You have to do what people tell you to. Otherwise, you're gonna have Dead Man Wonderland happen all over again.
Oh, yeah, that one was a rush.
Unfortunately, the writer died.
I mean, we even have Berserk. The Berserk incident unfortunately happened too.
I don't know about the Berserk incident. I never actually followed anything with Berserk. I wasn't a fan.
Really?
I mean, don't get me wrong. It looked fantastic, but it's just not my type of thing.
Okay. Well, it's a lot of people it's a super dark fantasy for those who never seen it.
I know that much.
And the author died while drawing his, like, he had one last, well, he didn't have one last chapter, but unfortunately he never got to finish. Jesus Christ.
That reminds me of RWBY. You know about the creator of RWBY, right?
Yes, Monty.
Yeah.
Well, it's
a tree fell on his car?
No, he just died.
What was that?
He died of a heart attack.
Wait, who am I thinking?
I don't know who you think is of a tree, but he literally died like of over exhaustion.
I remember it being around the same time. I thought it was him. There was someone that was. Oh, God, I can't remember. Now.
Alright, let me see. Tree artist dies because of a tree.
Oh no. Suffered an unspecified severe allergic reaction during an unspecified simple medical procedure.
Oh, Monty. Yes.
Yeah.
See, again, that's a work that quality unfortunately drops off, and you can like. All right, Monty was never the greatest storyteller. I don't know. Do you know what Red versus Blue is by chance?
Yeah, I do.
All right. Do you know which seasons he did?
No.
Season 9 to 12.
I literally haven't watched it. I just know of it.
The
I
reason
probably watched like 2 things.
the reason I bring up specifically what he draws is because a lot of people consider season 9 to 11 having the best action animation for the Red versus Blue.
Yeah.
Because when it comes to action combat, he does know what he's doing.
Yeah.
Storytelling, he could work on it. Which
That's
is
the thing.
Mm-hmm.
The art of telling a story is extremely difficult.
Correct.
It's like for me, I hate it when people turn around to me and it's like, oh, you've done how many words in that short a time? And it's like, I feel bad because I know, like, for example, my buddy Ning, he used to turn around to me all the time. He's like, do you want to write my essays? Because I used to write like 7,000 words in a day. And he'd say he'd struggle just writing 2,000 words for an essay. He'd constantly ask me, you know, oh, do you want to do this for me? Do you want to do that? And I'm like, the thing is, the art of storytelling is extremely difficult. The amount of times that I go through my work and I redo it, I do this, I do that, it's not easy. It requires a lot of mental strain. And if you're under a lot of strain already trying to produce something, like, for example, in Ohm's case, he knows how to do fighting really well, action scenes really, really well. The intricate details can be another level, which, you know, it's a practice that you have to refine over and over and over again. So I like when people turn around and say, like, you know, oh, the storytelling is bad, because at the same time, like, they can be trying their goddamn best, and you know, it might not be enough, but it's good enough. Like,
here's where I'm going to counterpoint that is
it's full of plot holes.
yeah.
Then yeah, I'd agree, it's pretty bad, but even still, there's always help there as well.
Yeah, but there's also how long can you wait for a story to get good, and use the excuse,
Wait,
they're
what
trying.
do you mean?
Well, okay, so Monty died season 3. Season 3 is considered for RWBY, a lot of RWBY fans and myself, like the high point. And then it just drops. And it never it gets slightly better in certain scenes, but there's just so many inconsistencies between the characters, the world, and the story that they're telling, that there's just too many plot holes, and it just takes you out of it. Kind of like the Star Wars and what we were talking about earlier.
Yeah. See, I can understand that. Personally, when I was watching RWBY though, I didn't really care too much about the world that was surrounding the characters. I was more focused on pretty much learning about what the characters were going to turn out to be.
Same.
And have you kept up with RWBY?
I did for up to this last season.
Okay, so basically, when Yang loses her, you know what,
Listen, that we can mention that. That's was season 3.
Yeah. Okay,
Season 3,
so
she loses her arm, which was a badass scene.
Loses her arm. That was literally the darkest moment that comes up in the show, throughout the entire thing, because she goes through so many different emotional phases, and a lot of it is through things like panic, regret, guilt, anger, frustration, like anxiety,
Yes.
depression. She went through every single roller coaster emotion that she possibly could in such a short period. That was amazing. But even
That
after
was a good point. I will give you that one. That was a very good point because they did
one
show
thing that
her
came
having
after that-
PTSD and stuff.
Yeah. And the one thing that came after that was a lot of the characters started to act differently. They started to realize that the world wasn't like what they thought it was. They had this insane force that was coming after the world, and they didn't know what to do about it. The only thing that they could rely on was one person that isn't really there anymore. So I think the one thing that I enjoyed the most about watching RWBY grow from the start was all the things that truly mattered completely got lost because of the fact that the world was lost. So, like, for example, the Schnee Dust Company. You don't hear anything about that throughout the entirety of that series until the last series, where she brings all the ships in to rescue those people. That is literally that's the only time you hear about it. They don't, even when they introduce her dad, they don't even talk about it then. They just talk about how they're going to fuck them, the people over, and that's, you know, for me, I enjoyed that aspect of it. Like, the things that were once there no longer are there, and it's also the same for the racism factor with the what do you call the half human, half animal people?
Furries.
I mean, you're not wrong. That's literally what I called them at the start. Oh god, I can't remember what to call them. But basically, yeah, they became, they were still under heavy scrutiny.
Okay,
and
not to
being
cut
judged heavily later in the series.
not to cut you off,
Okay.
but
Oh,
the problem I have with that part of I know it's like Fenir, or something like Bonus. They never show the racism.
wait, what do you mean?
In the first 3 seasons, when was anybody at the school racist to Blake?
Nobody knew that she was a Faunus until after the
Season 2, they knew.
Season 2, yeah.
So,
Well,
but
that's the
they're
thing.
still there.
And that's
then-
the thing. Like Blake was one of them. Blake was very friendly with everybody, and literally nobody had grievance with her whatsoever. When they probably found out, it was probably one of those situations where they didn't care.
Right.
Like she was just one of them. She was going to be a huntress.
That's
However-
fine. But I'm not.
However, outside of the school, when you was actually roaming the city, in fact, it showed it quite often, where fathers
No.
were being.
No, not in that school
Treated
area.
completely.
They did not show it. They said it, but never showed it. I that was my biggest
I don't
complaint.
remember because I
They-
haven't seen that part for a long time. I thought it was, but
That was my biggest complaint with them, is that that's one of the few times where you should show, not tell. They never showed
yeah.
NPCs being racist to another Faunus, and then Blake getting upset. There was never an incident where like a shopkeeper saw Faunus and was like, "Get out my shop, you dirty animal!" And it's just like there was nothing like that.
That's true. No, I remember now. Because I remember when Weiss was actually talking about the situation when Blake was there, and Blake got testy with her, but she didn't realize that, you know, she was a Faunus at that time. So that's, I remember now. That was my fault.
No, that's fine. I'm just a nerd
do
like that. I remember that.
I definitely remember it in the last season, though, where they truly showed it.
But even then, it's not a like the biggest time that they show it is a short story of Adam, not Adam Driver, Adam the one that just
Yes, Adam Driver as Kyle Ren in RWBY.
just had to point that out there because we had a conversation about Adam earlier. They in his little like short story, there was some racist. That's where he got his brand from, his eye. But it's in a short story. That's not part of the season.
I think, to be honest, the best part when it came down to addressing the racism properly was when it came to the Faunus Rebellion, when the Faunus were living in peace on, it was an island, wasn't it? Or was it just a corner of the...
It's on an island. It's on an island. Because you have to get there by boat.
Yeah, in that they kind of addressed it, saying, you know, this is a safe space for all Faunus where everybody is welcome as long as they are friendly. Otherwise, you know, you're out on your ass. And that's when they brought in the White Fang and how they wanted to, you know, and so on and so forth. Like, all of that, it half addressed it. And it was addressed enough to make you realize that, you know, this is what they have to live like in order to achieve peace, is be on their own.
But in a sense, again, keywords that you used was half. Only half address it. So that's where it makes you feel like, oh, they could do more here. And that's what I constantly feel with this show, is you could do more here. There's more to this.
Like, again, I feel, but to be honest, at the same time, I kind of feel like they were a bit scared to touch on the subject as a whole.
Oh, yes.
Because
yes.
I mean...
Like, you said that the darkest moments that they show in the show was Yang getting her arm chopped off and dealing with that and having PTSD.
Yeah, like, that in itself was a very difficult thing to really write about and get right.
But there's two other moments that I think that they got right that was just as dark, but they actually told a good story with. I don't know if you remember it. Well, the first one's with the main villain, Salem. Do you remember her backstory?
Oh, yeah, I remember her backstory.
Yeah, and then she becomes immortal and she tries to kill herself.
Yeah.
Continuously, and she just can't.
Yeah.
You know, and then from her not dying.
I actually love...
You love her?
No, I love that story, that backstory to her. Like,
yes, me too. Me too, because that's such a human emotion. You're like, what do you mean I'm immortal? I don't want to be immortal. I want to be with my loved one. That was the whole point of this. I should be able to die. Like, and she's just stabbing herself with scissors, and that shit hurts.
And the funny thing is that even through all of that, her lover still lives. And it's not even the lover anymore. That's the one thing I didn't like, is the ass backwards bullshit that they played with that.
Yeah, because they made him seem like he knew what the fuck was going on.
Yeah,
and then he really didn't know what the fuck was going on.
Yeah.
I was like, hold on, time, sir. They made you sound like you were like going to be like this whole guy who's been in the shadows, you know, been secretly protecting this world.
Yeah,
and you don't know the
like, well, yeah, she can't die, so I don't know.
Agreed.
I guess give it a shot. It might work this time.
You know, before they did that whole farmer arc with with Oscar, I thought they were going to do like a time ability with him.
No, like I already know what's going to happen.
I thought maybe he has the ability to turn back time. Maybe he just reincarnates each time.
It's a little gadget to store his magic in.
No.
Do you know what it is? You know what it is?
What?
It's that thing that stores light from Dumbledore in Harry
Oh my god.
That's what it is.
Jesus
But
Christ.
no, like, the thing is that I already know how it was going to end by the way that RWBY and her silver eyes worked. Because the one thing that kills Grimm literally immediately, especially at that size, was Ruby's silver eyes, that special ability which she has. So obviously Salem is going to suffer tremendously with that.
But why? I don't remember. Is there a story reason why the silver eyes are important? Have they mentioned that yet?
No. Basically, her mother had silver eyes. That's all we know.
And Maria had silver eyes.
Maria?
Maria's the old granny.
Oh yes.
She was a famous huntress.
Yeah. No, I know who you're talking about.
It's just weird how they they haven't really dived deep. Like, I feel like there's certain information that they should just dive deep in and be like, oh, okay, here's the backstory of this, and then there's other information where they're just not, and you're just like, can you dive deeper into this so I know why? No.
Basically, I already have a feeling that it's going to be along the lines of, oh, well, silver eyes, they actually have a power that can eliminate Grimm. And if they can eliminate Grimm, they're going to eliminate at least the creator or freeze her in time, in stone or whatever.
But then that means that the silver eyes have a connection to the gods.
Yes.
So
that's what I'm thinking. But the chances are the eyes were created by the god of creation. The guy that what was his name? I can't remember.
The god of light?
No, was it the god of light?
You have the god of light who's in charge of all of light, and you had a god of darkness who's in charge of death.
No. Sorry, not gods. What do you call them? The genie people.
Oh, the Dini? D.
And the guy.
Yeah. The gene. It's the Egyptian name for genies. That's what they were using.
Jinn.
Yes.
Yeah. So Jinn, the Jinn of creation, the one that can create things from blueprints, and you have to be very specific with what you say, otherwise they'll try to fuck you over. I've got a feeling that he was the one that created those eyes.
But why?
He created.
Like, I'm saying why, like, not as like if you know why, but just like.
The assumption is that that this thing happened before with the Grimm. Like, the Grimm grew out of control, people were struggling, and someone comes across this Jinn and says, I want eyes that can turn the Grimm to stone. And so that's eventually what this god of Jinn, created. Is just eyes that can turn Grimm to stone. But the thing is that they say that you need blueprints, so I wouldn't really understand how that would happen unless there was a specific ability that was able to do it, or an item that was able to do it. That's the only thing that I can think of that would at least even make sense for the silver eyes.
I mean, that's a better story so far than what they've given us.
I fucking hate what they've currently given us. I hate the ending of the last season.
How does it end?
I love a cliffhanger, but I fucking hated this one. Basically, Team RWBY all got fucking kicked off the platform in the middle of a fucking teleportation place where everybody goes to that fucking desert.
You.
Fucking they all just match.
Speaking of hating, I hate. There's two big ones, and all good because there's something that I know that happens in this season. So. I doubt there's anybody in my chat this time. So, spoiler, if you haven't seen the latest season or the season before, but Penny comes back.
I mean, I just heavily spoiled it.
Right.
So, it's perfectly fine.
Hold on 1 second. My battery's dying. Oh my god. Okay, I can hear you, and that is the sound of love. Alright, so
What's that song called that goes...
that's Kenny G. I don't know. I know what that beat is.
Oh, I can't stand this. I know the song and I love it. But anyway, carry on.
Alright. So Penny comes back. She's a robot. Kind of cool. I thought they would actually do a little something different and just make like a different Penny would show up. not the same Penny, and Ruby would have PTSD. That would have been a nice thing to do instead.
Technically, Yang's already done that, so to do that with Ruby as well would kind of be a repetitive.
Well, in sense in that, like, all right, I'm not going to let you die. You may not know who I am, but to me, you're very important. You know?
Yeah.
And we can do the arc of her. Does robots have souls?
That's the thing. That's technically what they did.
Technically,
Now-
but
now
they
that-
fucked it
now that
up.
you've said that-
Uh huh.
No, they really didn't actually fuck it up.
They did, and I'll explain why. I'll explain why.
Go on.
Because it's too soon. We literally just got her back last season.
But here's the thing.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, we just got her back last season, but we still haven't lost her. She still exists. Except now she exists in a human form.
Right, but we're going backwards.
What do you mean?
She's dead.
Oh fuck.
that's right. So we did it too soon.
No.
Yes.
Do we know she's actually
Yes.
dead though?
Yes. It's been confirmed. There was blood.
Well, no, that's just blood.
Right, but blood meaning she was a robot, and now that wound is internal. She's dead. She's her ability passed on, whichever one that was. Winter, I think it was. Winter's not even Winter, but that moved on to Winter. That if that made any sense.
Possibly survive in RWBY. If this is the case, I'm not watching the next season. Penny was
Wow.
one of my favorite characters.
I'm not surprised. Like, again, she is dead. That's why I was upset when I found that out, because I was like, okay, you kind of really chipped this
I
story.
remember now. I just remember trying to deny it.
Because Winter has the Winter abilities.
Yeah. Pizza Hut, fuck off. No one cares about you.
I mean, is that true?
Yeah.
But anyway.
I mean, they keep putting Alex shot in the crust. They can fucking die. So every time that I order a pizza from Pizza Hut, I specifically put no garlic on my crust, and they put garlic on my crust every fucking time.
Because you asked for it.
No, I don't. I specifically do it. No crust. No garlic on the crust. I even put it in the request for the delivery driver because I fucking hate it.
Right, you're asking for it. Wherever you don't want, they're like, all right, we're adding it.
No, I don't want it. I say I don't want it, and they give me it anyway.
They give you what you want.
No, they fucking don't.
You said you want all the garlic bread.
No, I didn't. Garlic on pizza is fucking awful.
Alright, so this was where it's going. They kill off characters way too soon or not introduce them well enough. And it's that fucking not winter maidens, season maidens. What are the maidens called?
Oh,
Oh, what?
there is no confirmation of her death.
No, there's confirmation
No.
on Twitter. What's his name? Miles. No, I'm being serious. The writer said yes, Penny is dead. And that's Penny that you know will not show up as Penny. The Penny you know is dead.
The robot.
No, the one that we know.
The robot.
No.
We don't know Penny is a human yet.
No, that human one that we currently know.
Shut up! She's alive!
No, the net Penny we're seeing is the robot Penny. But this is why I said we're going backwards with this fucking story.
No! I refuse to believe it!
Alright? And it's kind of obviously what they're going to do is then eventually this Penny is going to have the old Penny's memories. But it's not going to act like Penny. It's going to feel off. And then eventually... Anyway, I probably could predict that. I hate... I hate this season. I hate the plot holes. The plot holes just take me out.
Penny's not dead.
Hey, I found a penny on the ground.
Penny's not dead. I don't care what anyone says.
I will say, I think the best thing about that show though is have you watched RWBY Chibi?
Bits and pieces, yeah.
I enjoy that because it's just a super exaggerated form of all the characters, and nothing in it is serious, and even some of them address the silliness. Like Paris, Priest, her hello, and then her getting scared. I enjoy that. Or Nora and her love for pancakes, or her love for Ren, how she's just a yandere in the show. I enjoy that. Those I enjoy. My knees, my ass, my pussy, and my crack.
Penny's still alive.
No,
There's nothing confirming it, therefore she's still alive.
I confirmed it.
Nope, you didn't confirm anything.
I did her autopsy.
So why didn't you try to save her, huh? Jang, this is your fault. Why did you Penny?
I'm just here to announce people dead. Nothing more.
You just turn up, just look at the body, don't even try. Yep, dead.
Mm-hmm.
Time of death? She died.
Nope. What else do you want me to do for you? Interesting.
I hate that she's dead.
Do you?
Yeah. I'm actually pissed that she's dead.
Are you?
Like, for example, Pyrrha made sense.
Yes.
But Penny?
I will say, hold on though. There's another thing. She made sense to die. No. Not Penny. Not Penny.
Oh, Pyrrha.
Pyrrha, yes.
Yeah.
But they kind of fucked it up a bit.
They fucking really fucked it up.
Because when she died, it would have been cool to have an episode or two where John is reflecting on it and is trying to use her shield, and he gets a similar ability. Instead, they made like 2 seasons as John, the main character. And it really annoys me.
Honestly, Jean needed a few episodes for his development. I will say that.
And I'll give you that. A few episodes.
To go on for that long, though. Like, I understand that, you know, it takes time to grow, but it doesn't... The way that RWBY's timeline flows, it's too long.
Mm-hmm.
You've become a real... Well, yeah, I do appreciate...
So personally, I don't see the sense in it.
Same.
In fact, no. This is where I don't see the sense in John's team at all. All 3 of them walked for so fucking long, killing as many Grimm as they could along the way, but they were not tired. They were not broken, they were not exhausted, they just kept on walking. And they constantly had energy. That's the one thing that bugged me about that part of the story. They walked so fucking far, but didn't get exhausted.
But it's why season 4 and 5 are considered one of the weaker arc. There's just always... I'm not trying to be a negative Nancy.
Crow was the only thing that came out of that.
Yes, and you know what? He's a cool section to a character that I like the twist of. I say, where you think where RWBY and Yang are talking about, we were taught by our uncle Crow, And you think he's gonna be like this suave, like kind of like musketeer dude.
I'm now fucking drunk and I fucking love the guy.
Yeah, he's a drunken asshole. He's like, "What's up? Can I get a shot?" Oh, hey, little squirt. How you doing?
Walking around with a fucking small canister of whiskey.
I'm just here to get drunk. What's up?
I love him so much. His character is literally the favorite uncle everyone loves.
Correct. But again,
Cool uncle.
even then, they kind of fuck him up a little bit because of what his semblance is, and they don't do a good job with it, in my opinion.
Well, yes and no. I mean, they kind of made it perfect to where, you know, they said, you know, we'll give you power. The power turns out to be absolute fucking awful.
Correct. So I guess semblance are passive. That's again another thing. The power levels in this world are just off the chain. They're never fully explained. In the sense, like
I forgot that there was even power levels.
well, again,
Oh my god.
like me and Rats had this huge debate about the fucking 4 seasonal witches and stuff like that.
I don't give a fuck about them anymore.
Well, I do, because the whole first season, not first season, the third season, second, third season made it a big deal about the Winter Maiden. No, not the Winter Maiden, the Fall Maiden.
Yeah, I still don't give a fuck about them anymore. Like,
Yeah.
literally, there's no point in even thinking about them anymore when you've literally got nobody with power that, you know, is old and from that line.
But the whole thing is that they made it sound like these Winter Maidens, maidens,
Seasonal
like,
maidens.
seasonal maidens, had like the super OP magical ability.
I wouldn't say they made it that way. It's just like a fairy tale. They designed it to be so. And
No,
that's
here's why I say that. Because what was the point of season 3 where Oz kept the Fall Maiden hidden even though she was injured? What was the whole point of season 6 where they had the Winter Maiden and they were trying to pass her abilities off to Winter? Goddamn name. It was like, if they were not important, if you did not consider them important, why are you going through so much length to hide them? But then when you use them, it's just like, here's a super little 0.5 upgrade of the ability. Ice Blast! Oh, also the Winter Maiden can use fire powers. And the Fall Maiden can use winter abilities.
Wait, what?
Yeah. When, what's it called? Cinder. When Cinder is using the Fall Maiden's powers, she's using ice elemental powers. When, when is Yang's mother? What's Yang's mother's name? Raven.
Oh, yeah, Chicago. Oh, yeah.
Raven is the Summer Maiden.
I actually don't remember that fight at all.
I do, because it was like a big contradiction in abilities. The Summer Maiden was using winter abilities. I'm like, hold on now. How's the Fall Maiden not using firepower and the Winter Maiden, the Summer Maiden is using ice abilities? I thought they were tied to their seasons, like summer equals fire.
It could have been something to do with their semblance.
But it's never mentioned in the fucking story.
That's the thing. That would be the only thing it could be, is that it's related specific to their semblance, which, again, it's a loophole which they didn't fucking mention.
But it's not my job to think of that. It's your job. It's their job as writers.
That's unfortunately where we're at.
I hate that so much.
But the thing is that when it comes down to the maidens, it was the way that it was introduced was by fairy tale, making them seem like these godlike powers, which can fucking make or fucking break a forest and so on and so forth. But that's exactly what it was intended to be. It was intended to be a fairy tale, something which you would tell your children so that the story would stick around as a legend. So their powers won't be like, you know, super extraordinary. I mean, yeah, it'll be more grandiose than most of the people with just normal semblances. But I think it's more toward the fact that that power didn't belong to them. It belonged to fucking Thingy,
You know,
the old wizard.
but here's the thing. Do you remember? I don't know how deep did you dive into this stuff. But during season 1 and 2, I dived in pretty deep into theories and stuff like that. Did you know what the old theory was, and that it's almost correct, and I could see the writers doing this, but at some point they must have changed their minds.
What?
So, the four maidens were supposed to be related to Oz and Salem's kids.
Maybe?
Because in their backstory, in Salem's backstory, she points out that they had 4 kids. And when Salem and Oz fought, the kids died.
Mm-hmm.
So the old theory was that those were their kids' abilities. Like, because Salem's a fucking immortal witch, and Oz was, people thought he was like a super wizard. It would make sense that their kids had like super abilities.
You just answered everything.
Yes.
Literally, it's just a mother trying to get her kid's powers back, and everyone's just being a cunt about it.
I would have accepted that. Because that would make at least more sense. You know?
Well, to be honest, no. Like, even now, it makes more sense, because the gods created that world to be a beautiful and peaceful place. However, because they made her an immortal bitch, she is now, like, suffering from extreme mental health issues, and also has the power of darkness on her side. So now she wants to plunge it into darkness, destroy the world in which the gods created. So yeah, again, it still makes sense, but I mean, you know...
Does it? Because the fucking gods left.
Yeah.
The gods left, and they don't come back until the world's at peace again.
Mm-hmm. That's what I'm saying. She's trying to get those gods to come back.
Oh yeah,
Like,
she is.
She's trying everything in her power to get the gods to come back, to either stop her or to make them normal. Well, the thing is that I doubt that will make them normal.
No, it hasn't worked ever for her. Them and the gods. Also, I fucking hate the dark god, because you know how the moon is cracked?
Yeah.
Do you ever watch an anime called Trigon?
I never paid attention.
Alright, well, in that anime, the moon is destroyed. And that's because the main character accidentally used his ability and shot it at the moon, because he wasn't trying to do something.
Mm-hmm.
So the moon is cracked in that anime. I was hoping it would be some kind of cool backstory about the moon and the reason why it looks that way. Like it was it was a battle that happened and a Kamehameha hit that moon, you know? Mm-hmm. Instead, it's because the god of death was upset and was like, fuck your moon. And as he stormed off, he hit it.
I mean, I'd do that too.
Fuck you, Rooster Teeth, for that. Alright, come
I
on.
swear to God, I would actually fucking no. If I was pissed off at something, I would definitely break the moon. If I had the power to fucking smash the moon, something that is as beautiful and bright in the fucking sky like that, yeah, I'd smash it.
Okay, cool. You can smash it, but at least have it be in a cool moment. Not because you're leaving, like you just broke up with your ex-girlfriend.
No, I'll literally make it so that, you know, fucking, I'll break up with my girlfriend and then I'll just go fuck the moon.
See,
I'll put a whole new meaning to smashing the moon.
so you know what? Now I'm expecting in your story, one of your characters just breaks the moon. And I knew it. He added it.
No, I'm not gonna have any of my characters break the moon. Like, to be honest, like, my character already has a super fucking ridiculous, overpowered ability, but the thing is that obviously there's a cost to it, just to bring balance to it.
You know what? And I'm cool with that. I am cool with characters having OP abilities, you know? I mean...
That's the thing. Like, I hate overpowered abilities personally, because when people usually write about them, they don't add a weakness. They just say, oh, well, you know, fucking Spirit Bomb with fucking Goku.
Okay, that's not good. What I mean by OP ability is that it's OP, but either the character spent like time becoming OP, so it makes sense that now he's OP.
Okay,
Like,
so in a sense, my character did kind of train to become OP. It's only after he gained the power to do so. It's a very difficult situation to explain. The book will explain it very, very well. But yeah. I'm so excited to release that work. I really am. Like, some of the things that I've done in that, I've even surprised myself with.
really?
Yeah, like, I have... Normally, I don't like going into action, because I'm not a massive fan of action. Like, that's something which I've always said. I've been a romance fan for so many years now. But when I'm writing action, I feel like my brain's it's being tested at its fullest. Like, I feel like I'm literally straining every part of my imagination to think these completely magical ways to just fucking destroy whatever's in front of me.
There was this chef
And it's absolutely fantastic. And because I write in the sense where I am the character, it is very much a exciting thing, because, like, you know, I'm watching this thing happening in my head. I'm typing it out as I'm seeing it, and it's an exciting feeling. So being able to write this work has been a refreshing taste into what I can achieve.